course, that was Fiona Apple in the Criminal video we all know and love. We're talking with her tonight. But right now, I want to give you some contact information just in case you want to contact us, support us. We'd love to hear from you. You can find us on the web at www.trojanvision.com. You can email us at cu@trojanvision.com, or you can call us on the telephone at 213-743-4178. We'd love to hear from you. Always love to hear from you. And we were just talking with Fiona Apple. Now what kind of memories does that video bring up for you? Is it difficult to watch them?
No, it isn't. It would have been, but I just had to go and do this interview for Mark Armenick, who directed that video. He's doing a DVD of all of the videos, and so I had to go and do an interview for it. And I hadn't seen the video since it came out,
right.
And it made me sit there and watch it. And I had these horrible memories because I remember being so uncomfortable and getting a lot of backlash for it.
Right.
But I watched it, and it's a good video, and I didn't feel so bad about it. So it's still weird to watch, but.
I mean, in your underwear.
Yeah. I mean, well, they're not my underwear. There was a whole variety of them there that were bought for me. But.
That's funny. That would be interesting, I think, to look back on your career like that and be like, oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Now you're working on this new album, and we were just talking a little bit earlier about your second album, Win the Pond, et cetera, et cetera.
Which is, yeah.
Where did the title for that album come from?
That came from, well, that's pretty actually interesting because it was, I had to do a story for Spin magazine. And I was going to be on the cover, and they had, what I found out later, this huge, well, it wasn't really a conspiracy, it was just they decided that they were going to paint me in a not so nice light.
Okay.
And so the writer who I met with, John Lear, I believe his name was really cool. And then he ended up quitting the magazine because when he handed in the piece, the editor at that time, the editor-in-chief, I can't remember his name, he doesn't work there anymore.
And it's not important to remember his name.
No, his name was Slug. He decided to put it all together in this way that made me just look like an ass.
Right.
So I remember that I was going back on tour again, and I was reading the next issue afterwards, where they put in the letters, the response letters. And usually they have maybe one letter that says some bad stuff, and then the rest of them is like, oh, the picture is so beautiful, and stuff like that. Every single letter there, and there was a lot of them, were just, she said, just horrible stuff being said about me. And I felt so horrible because I felt like, they quoted me, well, not really quoted me, they really screwed me over.
Right.
And now I was being hated, and it really seems like a lot when you're looking at it. It doesn't seem like such a big deal now, and nobody else but me remembers it. And so I was sitting on the bus going out for my second tour, and I just started writing this thing to make myself feel better. So then on the next album, I used it for the title, and that was the poem that was on the.
But you wrote this title.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is and can you remember it? Can you remember? Oh, it's 91 words.
Yeah.
I could never get past the 8th word. I was like, what is this?
Well, it's like a song. You can remember a song, so.
Can you recite it for us right now?
We're
going to make you prove that you know the title to your second album.
Which one am I looking into?
This one.
That one.
That one.
Oh, I don't even want to look into it. When the pawn hits the conflicts, he thinks like a king. What he knows throws the blows when he goes to the fight. And he'll win the whole thing before he enters the ring. There's nobody to better when your mind is your might. So when you go solo, you hold your own hand. And remember that depth is the greatest of heights. And if you know where you stand, then you know where to land. So when you fall, it won't matter because you'll know that you're right.
That's pretty good. That's really good. I didn't recite that well. Now, what's the title for your new album? Do you have this already written out? Can you tell us right now what the title is for your upcoming album?
Extraordinary Machine.
Extraordinary Machine. You can find it wherever music is sold.
Yeah.
And
whenever it's done.
It'll be around February.
That title came from because it's the title of a song on the album that I wrote.
Oh, okay.
It's just so kind of came about.
Okay. Now, you had kind of an interesting, I want to talk about your music past. professionally. But you were writing songs, according to some articles I've written, at age 7 and 8.
I started playing piano at 8 o'clock when I was 8 years old. I think I wrote my first song when I was 11. They were just songs about, I think I'd write songs about my friend, my best friend was Manuela, so I had a song about Manuela because she was having a fight with her parents, so I wrote a song for her. And Jennifer Chen, there was a song about Jennifer Chen, and...
But even at age 11, they were depressing.
How do you know?
Well, you should have fight with her parents.
It was to make her feel better.
Oh, okay.
And I think I remember writing a song about, well, that's not so negative. It was about, like, heaven and how God was saying everything doesn't have to be perfect.
That's not too negative.
That's not too negative.
So you had quite a career in music, and you started from a young age. What do you have to say to young people jumping into the industry right now? What do you say to the person who's trying to get into music? Free?
Well, not free, but really, really, really think about it before you sign anything.
Okay.
No matter how great you are, the first contract you sign, there's going to be some iffy things in there that are probably a little bit illegal, but that you have no power against. So just make sure that you understand what's going on. I think that there's actually a clause in contracts, and I'm saying this on television. I think that there's actually a little paragraph in contracts that you sign, because I remember I signed my contract, which was like 60 pages when I was 17, and there's actually, I think, a paragraph in the standard contract, at least then, that says, basically, if there is anything illegal in this contract, I waive the right to prosecute. So basically, they can say, like, they can tell you to do, you can sign something, and then you realize, wait, that's not supposed to be there. But they say, yes, but look at clause number 127. You agreed that even though this is wrong, you agreed to it.
Now, I'm going to have to cut you off right there, but we've gotten a great word in for everybody that's trying to get into the industry. So stay tuned.
There are really good people, though, also.
They're good people. That's the disclaimer. Definitely. So stay tuned to see USC, the best honest talk show on television with a fish.
On the fish now.
We're having a great night tonight with Fiona Apple. Definitely interesting. It's definitely interesting. We've been talking a lot about your music, your background in music and things like that. But you know what I'm really interested in, what do you do just to pass the time? What kind of hobbies do you have?
Well, I do artwork, I read, I walk around.
You walk around?
Yeah.
You walk for exercise, or you just...
I like to walk. That's actually, I'm not kidding, I consider that a hobby. I like to walk around a lot. I live in Venice, and I live there mainly because you can walk around there.
The scenery is beautiful.
Yeah. Like, well, when I go to New York, I'll walk, it's very easy to think while you're walking, or to not think. So I really like I would actually put walking up there in one of my bigger hobbies. What else do I like?
You said you're a reader. What are some of the things that you read that you enjoy reading? You were telling me earlier about a book about King Henry VIII.
Yeah, that was...
You have an eclectic style.
Yeah, well, that was a book that my friend Anne suggested for me, which is, it's like a real long book about 800 and 900, over 1,000 pages. Yeah, okay, over 1,000 pages. And it's kind of a history, but kind of fictional too, because it's an autobiography, and obviously he did not write his autobiography, having been dead for quite a little bit of time. But then I wrote I read a great book that's actually really good, that I can recommend to a lot of people watching this, which is, it's called, I don't know if I mentioned to you this before, but it's It's called Dr. Tatiana's Sex Advice to All Creation. And
every guy has written down that title. That's what's going on right now.
Well, it's a book about evolutionary biology.
Okay.
It's by a lady named Olivia Judson, who is, Oxford University evolutionary biologist, and very attractive too. Picture of her on the back. But basically,
every guy has again written down.
Yeah. It's basically a book. It's really great. It's a book that is written in the form of like a Dear Abby, like kind of like a, that's what Dr. Tatiana. Dear Dr. Tatiana, I am a female iguana from the Galapagos Islands. I would like to ask you, I'm very distressed because all of the young iguanas around me have been masturbating at me every time I walk by. What can I do to stop this? And then she'll answer, but it's actual science, it's actual information.
So it's very informative, but it's entertaining.
Right.
Did you find this at Barnes & Noble? Is this where you picked this book up?
Yeah, I think I did.
Really?
Or whatever. It was at a Barnes & Noble. Yeah, it was Barnes & Noble. I just kind of picked it up.
Wow. I've never seen a book like that.
I saw the title and I thought it looked interesting, and then I read it. Know that once it starts, you get a certain, know that once it starts, you get a certain, 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 there's, what did you call it, momentum or inertia? Once you start going,
right.
You build up momentum, and then it's momentum, and then it would be inertia, would it? I don't know.
Yes, I think so. I think
because
so.
then you're in it. I don't know.
We'll write Dr. Tatiana.
Yeah. Once you get going in it, it's kind of like I wouldn't be able to imagine having to go home and relax. I'll be really happy being out all the time. Like going and living on the bus, I'll be hell probably for the first 5 days because I'll miss sleeping in my own bed.
Right.
But then after it, you just really get into it, which is actually probably the scariest part for me because I like where I am right now, and I don't want to not be there.
Right.
But I guess that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, it seems like it'd be interesting. You have, a couple of years to relax, and then you have, what is it, after you release an album, a year or two of just intense, interviews and shows and signings.
Yeah.
Is that how it basically goes?
It'll go, I'll probably, after everything's completely done, I'll have rehearsals for a month or so. Then I'll go out on the road. I'll be out on the road for, maybe a year. I'm not planning on going out for 2 years. But gotten doing the road, and in the meanwhile doing videos and doing, TV interviews and TV shows of performing and what's the stuff?
A lot of stuff.
And photo shoots.
Those bad? How long are they?
Like 9 hours.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. Now, 9 hour photo shoot. Now, when you look at your future, do you see music, 9-hour photo shoots and things like this in the distant future, or are you looking to do different things after you made a couple more albums?
To do different things? Sure, yeah.
What kind of things are you looking to do?
I don't know. I don't know.
I
actually kind of think that if I can pull it off this time and get a whole bunch of money, then I'll probably just try stuff out and be like and volunteer at stuff for a while. If I can pull it off. If I got enough money, then I think I could probably just try to try out things, take classes and stuff, and not have to worry about it.
I'm gonna go with my gut. I think you'll be able to make enough money.
You'd be surprised.
What?
Yeah, because mainly, music artists, what they really make money on is like the selling of T-shirts. And I'm really lucky because I write my own songs, so I get paid for a performance and I get paid for having written the song for publishing. So without publishing, I wouldn't have, half as much.
Now we're gonna have to go here pretty soon, but I want to help you make this money, so that you can take some time off to help people out. So tell us again what the title of this album is coming up in February.
Extraordinary machines.
That's it. And you heard it on CNN.
Have I been looking at the wrong thing?
No, don't get
Okay. All right, that one. Okay, good. I was so upset when I thought when I was reciting that thing. All right.
Okay, we gotta go. You're watching C at USC. It's always a pleasure. Tune in tomorrow night, and we're done.